Issue 41. Sonic tells Tails that he always expects trouble. At least we get to see people other than Sonic fighting the Badniks, as Amy destroys one with her crossbow. But Tails has an idiot ball moment again because he complains about being ganged up on, and Sonic has to tell him to fly, calling him Pixel Brain. Tails says, "Good thinking, Sonic," and Sonic snarks, "Someone has to do it." It's weird that it was the Archie Sonic that was constantly pulling pranks on and bullying one of his friends, at least really early on, because I'd expect that behavior out of Fleetway Sonic, but it never happens. He just verbally bullies him. He asks why Penguinators were in Hilltop Zone since they're normally in Ice Cap Zone. Tails asks if they came here for a Christmas break, and Sonic snarks amusingly, "Thanks for your input, Tails, I'll file it under you for useless." Why is Tails smiling at that? Does he think it's funny? What's so hard about the artist is making Sonic's friends look annoyed with him for his insults. Porker calls their attention to a portal to Ice Cap that some Badniks are coming out of. Sonic leaves his friends to fight the Badniks and jumps into the portal to deal with the cause of the trouble, and sees Knuckles fighting some Badniks and joins in. He tells them what's going on and says he's gotta find and destroy the technology generating the portal. Yeah, I guess that'd be fine, since anytime Sonic wants to go to the island, he can just take Tails' plane anyways. For some reason, Knuckles complains about Sonic wanting to help him when the island isn't his responsibility. You'd think that'd just make him appreciate it more, as it'd mean more help coming from him. But Knuckles is all about thinking he can do everything alone. Despite Knuckles' reluctance, they make a truce to solve the problem quicker, and the story ends with Eggman seeing them from a spy camera. In the next story, Knuckles, in the ride the Marxio brothers put him on, thinks that the safety harness is on so tight that he has trouble breathing, and in the control center, the Mario parody does something to make a giant statue of a knight try to attack Knuckles and miss, with Knuckles saying that he thinks it's just part of the theme park ride. The Mario parody is treated like he's incompetent by his brother once again. An interesting dynamic compared to Mario and Luigi's dynamic, which is kind of the opposite. And the ground shakes up ahead. Knuckles gets threatened by mud creatures and says that while he thinks he could just sit back and relax, fighting them would be more fun. Then he hits the ceiling and makes rocks fall to attack the bats coming for him. Then it's decided to switch Knuckles onto the new part of the track that wasn't finished being built. Knuckles' ride goes through a loop-de-loop, but he catches himself from falling by using an axe on a rail, and uses the axe to free himself from the cart. Then the Marxio brothers say that they just had some problems with the ride, but Knuckles entertainingly says he loves the ride, so he's letting them stay on the floating island, ending the story. I hope they really do give him a cut of the profits, so Knuckles can get something out of this. Even if they don't, he should be able to threaten it out of them. After a lot of comic space is wasted on meta humor, the next story has Sonic telling his friends there's lots of Badniks in Chemical Plant Zone, and he doesn't want Amy to come along because she's gotten herself kidnapped a few times already. At least she's wearing a different outfit finally. It looks better than her other one. Amy says she didn't need rescuing in Marble Garden Zone, with us being told to see Sonic the poster mag to know what she's talking about. Sonic says that she was just lucky. He leaves it behind, with her thinking of him as arrogant, and she says resentfully that she'd hate him if she didn't have a crush on him. Yes, she would. She gets threatened by Buzz Bombers and realizes that Sonic was tricked into leaving Green Hill unprotected, rather than just assuming Eggman sent Badniks to two places. She uses all their crossbow bolts on the Badniks, so she still has to be saved by the heroes, who immediately all come back, and the story ends feeling inconclusive because Amy doesn't immediately prove to Sonic that she was useful earlier. This issue is by Lou Stringer. It was about Sonic going to Angel Island since a portal was sending some Badniks to his home from there, and agreeing to find the source of the portal technology with Knuckles to destroy it. That's literally it, them finding Badniks. This is why I prefer to have one story take up a whole issue, because when the plot is that basic, I can't help but feel like there's a problem. Makes it feel very empty and hollow afterwards, like the IDW comic. In the second story, Knuckles believes that the ride is intentionally made to scare him without hurting him, since the Marxio brothers failed at hurting him. But he should have known that only he would have been able to survive such a ride. Though he is also told that they had some problems with the ride, so maybe he reasoned that Eggman's Badniks and traps were left behind from earlier on without the Marxio brothers knowing about it. So it felt like an entertaining twist, the way he actually loved the ride. It didn't seem all that crazy that he wouldn't get suspicious. I just hope Knuckles will actually get a cut of the profits to benefit from letting them stay on the island. And in the final story, we just see Amy defeating the Badniks herself. But then the heroes come back instantly and don't learn what she did, kind of defeating the purpose since we didn't get to see a satisfying ending that conclusively showed Amy prove herself to Sonic. Am I the only one who's gotten really sick of seeing Sonic fight Badniks? I mean, maybe it's better than him fighting other robots, but Badniks in particular make it feel like it's just too much like the game's not original at all. And feels like nostalgia pandering in retrospect when the comic was made too early for it to count as that. But I'm so bored of repetitively seeing Sonic fight Badniks that I almost want the comic to just skip past that from now on. Or mostly just show his friends fighting Badniks while he deals with bigger threats. After this comic, I never want to see Sonic fighting another Badnik again.